Every time I tidy up the spaces in our home, new ideas are always popping into my head for DIYs I would love to do. Our main goal is always to make it a more beautiful and functional space for us. And I figured it was finally time to introduce you to our full home, all of the projects we've done so far, and some of the ideas we have for the future.
Hello! Well, thank you for joining us.
We've owned our home for over 4 years now. We purchased it in January of 2020, right before so much happened in our world. And it was this weird, beautiful, serendipitous timing that we were just so grateful for. I was 23 and my boyfriend, who is now my husband, was 24 when we became homeowners. We had no idea all the time and effort and money that went into homeownership. And as much as homeownership isn't easy, it was one of the most fulfilling things he and I had ever done. We also styled our home at such a weird point in our lives too. We were young, we weren't making a lot of money, and we were just kind of figuring it out as we went. And our home definitely reflected that, as well as some weird quarantine quirks. We were slowly understanding how we utilized each space and how we could potentially utilize that space even better and in a more effective way. Because for 2 people, he and I have plenty of room. We used to live in a 700 square foot apartment, and now we have 1,100 square feet. That is more than enough space for us to figure out what to do with it. But being so young and buying furniture, we didn't really know what to get. We didn't know what our style was. So we were putting items into this home and painting walls, colors that we were just trying out. We didn't know what we liked, and so there was a lot of trial and error. And we learned very quickly to invest in the good furniture because the cheap stuff does not last long. And we eventually realized how much we could utilize our space better and in a more effective and storage-friendly way. Needless to say, through our journey of owning this home, it has seen many iterations of style. And in this phase of life that we're in now, I'm 27, my husband is 28. We really just want to elevate our home and have it grow up with us. Here's some of the things that we have done over the years of owning this home. We knew before we even bought this house that when we moved in, it was gonna need a new roof, which aside from buying the home itself was probably the biggest investment we had made to date. That was scary. We also had to take down a dead tree. We had to repair our sewer line, we had to get a new hot water tank, and that was because ours was leaking into our kitchen. And we just painted everything. And one of our favorite additions that we've made to this house has been adding our back patio with the help of one of our really good friends. This patio has been our little sanctuary. It's given us a private space outdoors, especially during those times of life when we weren't able to really go anywhere. That was our place where we always would go. We'd spend so much time there, and we just love our patio and outdoor space so much in the summer and the warm months when we can utilize it. We love hosting happy hours and just fun little friend gatherings, and I even hosted one of my first dinner parties last summer, and it was so much fun. It was so beautiful. We've also spent a lot of time updating our main bedroom recently because this space was the most neglected. I had really just been wanting this space to feel more functional and mature and to really, like I said, grow up with us. This whole side of our house was an add-on before we purchased it, and so it just lacked all character and just finishing touches. For example, there was no trim around any of the windows or doors. Everything was just very builder grade, plain, bare minimum. And all of it lacked character, which is something that I've been really wanting to add into every aspect of our home. So we added the trim, and I also added trim to our closet and bedroom door just to continue drawing in some elements that made it look less builder grade. We swapped light fixtures, I painted the nightstands, and just really did as much as we could to make this room feel cozy, warm, and grown up. And this whole room just feels so different now in such a beautiful way. It just feels more eclectic and has character and is mature. And when we actually clean up our clothes and close our closet doors, I'm like, dang, that looks really good. When we move out of our bedroom and go in between, oh, that's my neighbor. Okay, we're gonna close this door. Just outside of our main bedroom is this weird little pass-through room that is attached to our kitchen. And it is basically a gigantic hallway because all we really use it for is to get from the bedroom to the kitchen or the kitchen to the outside patio. And it's a triangle of foot traffic in that room. We also have a day bed in there, my makeup vanity, a bunch of cat stuff, and also our kitchen table that rarely gets to see our dinners. This is a space in our home that I desperately want to tackle and make more beautiful as well as more functional. Because right now, it's really just a utilitarian room, and I don't love it because it's just kind of there. It holds a lot of clutter. If we need to put something somewhere in our home, that is the first place in our house that clutter ends up. So it's a space I really want to tackle to make more functional. And after the kitchen, that might be one of my next projects. And then, of course, we have our kitchen, which is the journey you guys have been on with us for the last few weeks here. We're sorting out all of those initial details, which are taking a lot longer than I initially ever thought that they would. I had no idea that something like this just really takes so much time to get right. And maybe for some people they have a quicker experience with this whole cabinet situation, but it's just been taking a long time. Obviously, a lot of that is our own deliberation on what we're willing to spend to make this right. But the more that we are looking into things, the more we feel comfortable spending a little bit more on our cabinets because we will get that return one day in some form. The biggest selling point of any house is a kitchen. So we don't feel that bad actually putting money into it and investing in it. But we still want to keep it in a tight budget because we don't got a lot to play with, baby girl, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully in the coming weeks here, I'll have more updates for you guys. So we'll get back to that series, don't you worry. Another space I'm excited to tackle in the near future is our living room. I have dreams about some sort of built-in bookshelf situation in there. I just got to figure out how to do it. Because the biggest thing in this house is figuring out over and over again how to increase storage. We do not have a basement, so storage is the one thing this house is lacking through and through. So if we can have storage through bookcases or through different sort of units in the space, I'm happy. We also would love to get a new couch one day because we bought this one off of Living Space for like 800 bucks 4 years ago, and it has treated us so well. All of our friend groups have like 6 people in them, and so every time we have guests over, it just feels too small and people are always sitting on the floor, and we would just like something that is a little bit bigger, maybe like an L shape, because we love having people over and we would love for it to fit and seat more butts, even though it's not the biggest space. And we also recently got this gorgeous rug and we love it so much. It's such a beautiful focal point in the room that we want to build around and just overall continue to elevate the space, add in character, make it feel elevated, and also a little more clean because we've got like 3 different wall colors going on in here and I don't know what to do about it because I love all of them, but we gotta make some choices. So the trend for everything that we're doing is really just to elevate, add character, make it feel fresh and clean and nice. So if you guys have any thoughts or ideas on what we should do to tackle these spaces, I would love your opinions. You guys help me come up with so many cool ideas and I love it being more of a collaborative effort because yes, we live here and at the end of the day, we're gonna do what we think is best, but we're still also figuring out what our style is. I love things being bright and crisp, but I also love dark, moody colors, as you can tell. And I love character and texture. And sometimes when you live in your own space, especially for so long, like over 4 years like we have, it's hard to see it in a different light and see everything that it can be. Sometimes you just get so used to seeing it for what it is. So I'm excited to get your opinions and ideas and do all of these projects slowly over time, on a budget, but together. And as always, if you guys want to see the progress we make on our home and do it with us and be along for this ride, I would love it if you subscribed. It really supports my channel, and it really just is so exciting and fulfilling to see that you guys like these videos as much as I love creating them. Thank you guys so much for being here. I love you. I'm so grateful for you and your support and your beautiful positive comments. It makes my day every single time I see one pop up. So thank you. And I will see you next Sunday.